the credibility is very important. They should have that credibility, or a success story that they have established in the marketplace. Anything for large enterprises to just go ahead and try for something completely unknown is a again, there is only that much of a budget or that much of a risk taking or a bet taking kind of a setup which is there within GCCs. I mean, not even only in GCC, every organization, they look at it in a very small pocket of it, like where they are 100% assured. So most other places, it is always a credibility that they would look for. Also, I think it depends on similar industry, similar domain, similar organizations. If they have kind of adopted it, it's always easier to correlate. Like I remember going to a Microsoft session or a showcase where they had invited us and they were giving us all of this. And while it was very data heavy, and they were trying to talk to us about some of their new features and how it works and all of that, most of the people that from the organization, when we were having questions, it was all relating to around like, okay, can you give me like a typical case study of what you have done for an organization like ours? Or if I have a certain workflow, or I have so many data lakes across and I don't have that possibility of merging all of them together, or if you talk about any other conglomerate which had very discrete businesses underneath it, have you done that for them? Or I have four different distinct businesses within my own headquarters, and we are catering to all of them as a horizontal from here, but they're very different from one another, right? So if you have this case studies, it will relate. So I think it's heavily biased towards, one is the credibility and how much they are able to have done and delivered, and how it's been going well. Second, again, I think the relevance in terms of what other organizations have done it and how it has been successful for them. Is it very close to what we do and how we do? And the third is a very desperate measure where the enterprise is looking at a deployment of something like this, and they get a vendor or a startup or someone who is providing a product which is very close to what their needs, which is not always the case, as we all know. So I think for startups, again, they need to do a very thorough research on these organizations whom they approach, and have like some kind of a commonality if possible, like, okay, I deal with all of the manufacturing segment, these kind of companies, these are the ones, or I go to the banking side of it, or I go to the networking side of companies. And it's generally a domain centric or a business centric is how I would look at it.